fans, to another episode of PokeRatings.
In this episode, the first Pokemon we'll be discussing is Galvantula. Galvantula is a personal favorite of mine that I personally would love to have in real life. Especially just to scare other people, because it's a giant tarantula.
Yeah.
With electric powers.
Yeah.
Anyway, me and Delphox and I will be discussing its design and competitive abilities. I'll do the competitive, he'll do design, since I'm a bit more experienced than him competitively. And then he will give it a rating out of 10 design-wise, and I'll give it a rating out of 10 competitively. Then overall, we'll see its score of what it gets overall on out of 20. It may be a bit biased because I do love Galvantula.
Well, thank you, Aiden. Some of the Galvantula's Pokedex entries are just same. They're literally just 3 different ones. When attacked, they create an electric barrier by spitting out many electrically charged threads.
Makes sense. Electric webs, hence, the bug electric type.
But spitting out? But it comes out the area.
It doesn't even have 8 legs. I wouldn't question where the webs come from.
Okay. Oh wait, no. It actually explained in the manga where one webs from one side actually is attacking webs and the other webs from the other side are sticky webs.
Okay, great. So,
in white, they employ an electrically charged web to trap their prey. While it is mobilized by shock, they merely consume it. I mean, literally. It's not merely. You're dying.
Just like a normal tarantula probably would.
Yeah. Okay, now on to its design. Okay, so right off the bat, you can see that it even has little hairy pincers, just like a tarantula.
Galvantula, the things on Galvantula's legs are kind of like Garchomp's little white pointy things on his hands.
Yeah, except these actually look like better. Sorry, I didn't mute my mic. The yellow and blue on it looks quite pleasing, as some reason it's actually a very good color choice. Yes.
Yep, okay.
Okay. Also, for someone who didn't know, somehow it's a tarantula. It looks like a tarantula. It probably feels like a tarantula, and it's even really furry like a tarantula.
Okay, now besides the normal colors, what about the actual shiny? How would you rate that?
Well, the shiny, based on what it changes and how much better it makes it, I would probably give it a 1. It literally just makes everything a bit darker.
I don't know, I wouldn't give it a 1. I'm just saying, there's definitely worse shinies out there. Gengar, Garchomp. Probably forgetting some others.
Persian. Don't diss Persian. Just kidding, you can diss Persian.
There's actually people who think Giovanni's Persian is shiny. It's that hard to tell.
Really?
Yes, there are legit arguments. They'll be like, oh, it's shiny because look at it. Oh, it's not shiny because look at it. At least you can distinguish Galvantula from its shiny form. So I probably wouldn't give it a 1, but yeah. Besides, I think the dark colors do give a nice look, but I would prefer the original. Okay, so what would you give it out of 10? On a purely design-based, that is.
Also, because the Inamini wants me to do this, I rate 8 out of 8, mate.
Oh my god. No, for reals, out of 10.
But, for real, I would actually rate it 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10 design, that's pretty good.
Because it looks like what it's supposed to look. It looks like a tarantula that somehow got infused with lightning powers.
Exactly. It actually looks like a bug and electric type. Without, legit, if you showed this to somebody and you named all the types, I would probably guess bug and electric.
Thunderbolt! 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 Like, can I learn Thunderbolt?
Yes, it can. Pretty much every electric type can learn Thunderbolt and Thunder.
But here's a question I have about it.
By the way, why is Thunderbolt weaker than Thunder? Thunder is literally just sound. Thunder shouldn't do any damage, but, fine.
I know, I guess it just really hurts the ears. And I guess Thunderbolt is a really compressed version of it.
Thunderbolt literally shoots lightning at them. Yet Thunder also shoots lightning, even though Thunder's just the noise that accompanies Thunderbolts.
Wait.
So I guess, forget it's weird. Okay.
Thunderbolt.
Okay, competitively, Galvantula is actually quite viable, depending in really any tier. Especially in Little Cup. It's really good in Little, just kidding.
It's not a Little Cup.
Yeah, I know, it's a fully evolved Pokemon. Anyway, so, Galvantula's abilities. It's got 3 abilities you can get. 2 that aren't hidden, called Compound Eyes and Unnerve. Unnerve is basically, when this Pokemon is active, it prevents opposing Pokemon from using their berries.
And Compound Eyes improves the accuracy.
To be more specific, Compound Eyes have all their moves accuracies multiplied by 1.3, which is a 30% increase. Basically, like Life Orb increasing your move's power, except its accuracy instead, and without, the thing. And again, the ability actually makes sense, because it's got, multiple eyes. There's its eyes, look at it. It's got literally, 6 eyes.
Oh, God.
So, looking at its stats, its attack, defense, and special defense are very little average, so it's a bit frail. Its speed's 108, which is better than Garchomp. Checking that fact, actually. Yeah, see? Speed, 102. It's faster than Garchomp, which people...
Its speed is 100...
So there you go.
Actually, its speed is 108.
Exactly. Special attack at 97, which is respectable. It's not the most amazing, but it is respectable. You can give it a... Now, the most common strategy is just to give it a Focus Sash, give it Sticky Web, give it a Bug Buzz. I'll give it Thunder with Compound Eyes, since it's more power, but, without the drop in accuracy. Give it Energy Ball for ground types, and that, you've got a fast Special Sweeper. It can take a hit, set up Sticky Web, and if it outspeeds and gets a Sticky Web off, then it takes the hit. It could then go for a Bug Buzz or a Last Ditch Energy Ball or something right before it dies. Yeah. Okay. Now, besides that, you can't really run a physical... you could run a physical Galvantula, but I would highly recommend you just stick with Special. Because its physical attack's just not the best at all. That should seem obvious, and it should be. Okay.
252 everything.
What?
Nothing.
So, anyway. Right, you always want to pretty much max out speed, since that's its highest stat. If you want to actually do a spec set, which you could give it max speed, 252, make it timid.
Give it 4 in special defense.
Give it max special that, and just put 4 in special defense. Just for whatever reason, whenever you have 4 left over, it usually just goes in special defense. So whatevs. Anyway, then get rid of Sticky Web, keep the other moves, Bug Buzz, Thunder, and Energy Ball, they're all great. And then you can get another attack that you could actually, replace it with. So, let's see. You can give it Volt Switch, actually. So it helps your team get some of the Volt Turn, which basically means Volt Switch and U-Turn are moves that your team possesses somewhere. Which it could be useful if your opponent doesn't expect a Volt Switch, and that gives you an upper hand and gains you some momentum. which could be anything, everything in a battle. So, anyway. Overall, Galvantula is pretty good. It's definitely more used as a sticky web focus sash lead. It could also be used as specs, which would probably be like the second most common. You could give it Life Orb. That's also a possibility if you want choice in what moves you use. Just so, for instance, you might use Bug Buzz and then they switch out to some guy that's like a bad matchup for you. Boom, Volt Switch, and you're out. Overall, I would give Galvantula a rating 8 out of 8, mate. Just kidding. But anyway. No, I would obviously give it, probably an actual 8 out of 10. It may be a bit biased because I love Galvantula, but, like, as biased as it may be, which I try to not make it biased, most Pokemon are pretty viable if you just put a good strategy on it. That's really just the thing with all of it. Or if you want to, or you could run Swarm with Focus Sash. Here's something I forgot to say. So when it gets down to the 1 HP, boom, Swarm. There you go.
Bug attacks are now more powerful.
Now it's Bug Buzz. Basically, has a choice specs on it.
Man, my butt is getting numb.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I'm gonna. So overall, according to our ratings, 9 out of 10, and then 8 out of 10. At drum roll.
17 out of 20.
That's a pretty good rating. Better than Bronzong. Sorry, Bronzong, I love you. Anyway.
Except he has the dankest rating.
So, the next Pokemon we'll be talking about. Delphox.
Yeah. Yes? Why'd you stop talking? This is supposed to be a show. Entertain. Okay, do I pause my recording now?
Anyway, do you want me to keep going about competitive use for Swampert, or are you gonna, thingy, or are you gonna leave?
Okay. Welcome back. Awkward silence. You have to talk. A little bit. I don't know why.
Okay.
But, its Pokedex entry in Rubit is Swampert is very strong. It has enough power to easily drag a boulder weighing more than a ton. This Pokemon also has powerful vision that lets it see even in murky water.
Well, if it lives in the swamp, that would be, just an evolutionary trait.
Swampert predicts storms by sensing subtle differences in the sounds of waves and tidal winds with its fins. If a storm is approaching, it piles up boulders to protect itself. I mean, seriously, it basically has future sight.
No, it's just like, oh no, a Galvantula is trying to energy ball me, which is 4 times super effective.
Boulders. It can swim while towing a large ship. It bashes down foes with the swing of its thick arms.
What are you doing?
Trying to make it creepier. Okay. Also, for those who don't know, Galvantula actually is partly based off of an axolotl.
Right. Alright, back to Swampert. This is his segment, or its segment.
I know, it was the best one, but... Just like my Bulbapedia keeps freezing.
Okay, pause.
Oh no, don't worry, it's good now.
Okay, it's good now. Right. And we're back. Technical difficulties.
Boop a doop boop boop boop. Booty.
Alright, back to Swampert. This is his segment, or its segment.
Just like my Bulbapedia keeps freezing. Oh no, don't worry, it's good now. Okay, it's good now. Boop a doop boop boop boop. Boop a doop boop boop boop. Booty. Boop a doop boop boop boop. Okay, so Swampert looks at what it's based off of. It looks like an axolotl. I don't know what those two things are, but I just think it actually looks like an axolotl.
Okay.
Because it's got those little things.
What about Swampert's actual design?
But Swampert looks like it could actually beat someone up. I mean,
especially Mega Swampert. That just looks like the kind of guy that never leaves the gym.
Yeah, Mega Swampert looked like he just took Mega Swampert looked like he just took drugs. I mean, steroids.
Potato. No, but literally, just like, he is normal Swampert, Mega Swampert.
Actually, I just know something. All the muscle from his legs goes straight to his arms.
Yeah, exactly.
In normal Swampert, he has really bulky legs and really skinny arms. Mega, he has really bulky arms and pretty skinny legs.
Anyway, back to Swampert's design. What do you think about his colors?
I mean, his colors look like he actually lived in a swamp. I mean, he's got those little axolotl things, which normally are around that color. They're more pinkish, though. And the water really makes it look like he's a water type. Yeah, and it's shiny because how good he is. He becomes fabulous.
I like to nickname him Pinkpert.
I like to name him Fabulous. Every time there's a pink shiny, I name it Fabulous.
Do you think the shiny looks better than the original?
Depends who you're a fan of.
Okay. So. Are you done?
Okay, off to you. Apparently.
No, you need to give it a rating out of 10.
Oh yeah. Also, apparently in Mandarin Chinese, it means giant swamp monster.
So anyway,
what
would you give it out of 10, design-wise?
I rate 8 out of 8, mate. So 8 out of 10.
Right. Swampert is competitively viable, absolutely, but
Yeah.
isn't actually seen that much, which is kind of odd, because it's like Pokemon that's got good stats just isn't seen often. And then Blazikens and Ubers, so, you know, Swampert's pretty salty. So anyway.
Yeah, Swampert's in UU.
Yeah, don't know how that happened. I think Sceptile's even... Where's Sceptile at?
I think he's unreleased.
No, it just says new next to his name. Mega Sceptile's unreleased. So anyway, back to Swampert. This is his segment.
Go on my leg.
So, obviously, Swampert's two best stats are his HP and defense. If you max out HP and, not defense, attack.
Yeah.
HP and attack, he'll be able to take more hits, and you could slap an assault vest on him.
Assault
You
vest?
give him damp, so nobody's going to be exploding at all.
But isn't
You can give
Damp
it
in
Aqua
unreleased?
You can give it Aqua Tail, and if you want to give it negative speed, you could possibly give it Avalanche for 120 Ice-type attack. You could give it Hammer Arm for type coverage, Earthquake for stab, and it's Earthquake. And you could even give it Power Up Punch just to increase your attack. You could give it Stone Edge, you could give it Flipping Rock Slide, you could give it Return, you could give it Low Kick, lots of moves you could give Swampert because it's got just a great move pool. You can give it Superpower, that's another good fighting move.
Except not really if you don't like status changes.
Although, if you also want to, Swampert can even set up Stealth Rocks, as I see a lot of Stealth Rock Swamperts. You can give it Life Orb, Stealth Rock, Aqua Tail, Earthquake, and then just give it Hammer Arm, or you could give it Ice Punch, or another move for coverage, which, since he's only weak to grass, he should probably give him Ice Punch, just for grass types.
Oh yeah, also YouTube, if you don't like this, comment what we should do. Really, Pokemon Showdown is just a really good game, and if you have a problem with that, let us be ourselves. I'll actually comment a really good game. We like really good games.
Very indeed. So anyway,
Adolf
that's it's like a meme now.
I know.
Anyway,
inside joke.
you can run a Stealth Rock set, which is also pretty viable. I personally don't like having a team without Stealthrox, because Stealthrox are pretty good, especially if the other team has a Charizard or a Volcarona, because they're pretty overused. But anyway, enough about normal Swampert. Everyone was expecting me to talk about Mega Swampert. And that's pretty obvious, because this thing's a beast. Now, Swift Swim is if you're making a rain team, basically a Pokemon that can set up rain and then the rest of your team benefits from it, then Mega Swampert should be on your team. It may only have 70 speed, but in the rain, that would be like 140. And then if you give it max EVs, even faster. Or if you don't even want that, you can still just go max attack and max HP.
And then you've got a bulk.
Super bulky. Look how bulky he is. And just put 4 in special defense.
The Pokemon with the highest HP is,
Let's see.
Although Chansey is an OU, but Blissey isn't.
Yeah, because Chansey can get Eviolite. So anyway.
Dude, you can set...
Sorry,
I just
back
noticed...
to Mega Swampert.
You
Shiny Mega Swampert just looks absolutely fantabulous.
Yeah, fabulous.
Stats like these, you can even make it a special attacker. So, for instance, something I forgot to talk about with normal Swampert is that he is also a viable special attacker. It might be able to take them by surprise, so they won't expect it, then give him max HP. Spadef. Give him a... Yeah, modest, that was it. Make his ability damp, since Torrent is kind of useless. Unless you want to have Torrent for when it gets low health. You can give it Hydro Pump or Hydro Cannon if you just want to one-shot things.
Depends if you like recharge or not.
You can give it Ice Beam or Blizzard. You can give it Focus Blast. You can give it Earth Power for a special ground type attack. And you can even give it Sludge Wave for grass types.
Funniest thing is that Smogon suggests it should be a fast special sweeper depending on what you just put there.
So yeah, that's basically Swampert. I would give him out of 10. Why does he have no attack? Anyway, out of 10, I would give him probably a 7.
Okay, you heard that, folks. You got a 15 out of 20.
Oh, wait, what did he get again? 15?
Out of 20.
That's not the best score, but he's still pretty good.
I know.
And there is a reason why people like Mudkips. So they can get Swampert.
Everyone heard that they liked Mudkips. Also, I just need to delete all the teams I made for this video.
So anyway, that's the end of the show. If you enjoyed, like, comment, and subscribe to both our channels. We would appreciate that.
Yay!
Delphox, we would appreciate that, wouldn't we?
Yes, but it's funny how half the time we're trying to be classy, but we're really not classy, so it all fails.
So anyway, see all you people in the next episode of PokeRatings.
Yeah. Bye!